we've now seen several comments recently. This whole idea that people are going around, the way it was put, it was almost like, we promise you we will not let CM Punk come back. Like they're protecting people from CM Punk.
Yeah.
But the idea, we've now seen comments from, I think, Ricky Starks, obviously FTR, maybe Hobbs at one point.
Hobbs was complimentary at one point.
I think Stokely just said something. You know, he couldn't really say too much, and he's a low man on the totem pole there right now.
The Gun Boys were happy with him at one point, weren't they? Seem to recall. Maybe I'm mistaken there.
Yeah, so in terms of who would be upset, first of all, who would be going around promising they could protect anyone other than someone who's above or in a certain position? So yeah, Jericho doesn't want him there. He never wanted him there, and he certainly couldn't wait for the repercussions to come out of that fight because he didn't want CM Punk there. The Bucks and Omega, they don't want Punk there. And if Punk was ever there again, they're probably not going to work with him. The friends that they have in their locker room, you think Jungle Boy wants CM Punk there? He wants to play with his friends. So yeah, Adam Page? No, I'm pretty sure Adam Page doesn't want CM Punk there. Do I mention Colt Cabana? He's still there. You know, there are certain people I'm sure don't want CM Punk there, but at this point there's been a bunch of people who have said, he was nice, he worked with me, he helped me, gave me suggestions.
Dressing room door was always open, gave everybody Starbucks gift cards.
How much, you think? Like 25, 50? What do you give as a gift? And that's
I think it was like hundreds of dollars, I heard, on each one for a group of people.
Hold on, he was giving out Starbucks gift cards worth hundreds of dollars each?
That's, I believe, the story that I was told was that who was in the Pinnacle at that point, everybody got hundreds of dollars of Starbucks cards.
Oh no, I heard he gave Starbucks cards to all the girls.
Well, he did. I think he's a big Starbucks fan. Because he did that too.
Me too, but buy your own fucking drink. What? That's a very nice guy right there. That's the point. That's the point. So it's almost like a complete split. There are the guys, for one reason or another, for one agenda or another, who don't want Punk there, even though he's still, I saw PWT's put out their biggest merch sellers of the year. I had actually heard that for AEW alone, Punk is still the biggest merch seller. They had Danhausen as one and Punk two. Either the biggest merch mover or the second biggest merch mover after the comedy character. And then there's another half of the locker room that appreciated him, probably would have been working with him. So it's...
Well, think about this, though.
It's not as cut and dry as a lot of people want to pretend it is.
The story from the trampoline gang side of things was that, everything was harmonious in the locker room and everybody was happy until he came around. Think about this. When they started the company, it was all of the EVP's hand-picked friends and every freak of nature on the indies that somebody had ever laughed at for 15 minutes, and Chris Jericho, and he was more than willing to throw his lot in with the cool kids. But he was the only real name. And everybody was happy because it was like a little treehouse, a little group of friends that they had handpicked. Couldn't draw a goddamn dime, couldn't draw money with paper and green crayons, couldn't draw any money if you dipped them in glue and drug them through Fort Knox. I could go on. But they were happy. And then the company actually starts getting stars and recognized talent from other places and people that the fans knew who the fuck they were and might be interested in seeing them. And they rated NXT and a blah, blah, blah. Of course, they botched most, if not all, of those debuts and pushes, but nevertheless, a new group came in that wasn't handpicked and vetted by the EVPs, and they just happened, in a lot of cases, to have more talent than the group of ragtag indie misfits that had started the thing. At least they had all of their appendages, 2 arms, 2 legs, things of that nature. And Punk was the one that moved the needle for him the most. And Punk was also the antithesis of the kind of wrestling that they want to do. Meaningless, goofy flips and twists and turns with their tongue in their cheek the whole time, winking at you that they're not serious. And Punk was the exact opposite of that. And Punk's also a guy that doesn't sit on his feelings or just sit at home and eat muffins and bury his frustrations when nobody is paying attention to what he's saying. And so there you had a chemical recipe for disaster. And now, it just like even before he was gone, but now especially that he's gone, they've got to slander him, and they've got to make sure that everybody thinks that they were the baby faces, or elsewise they come out looking like the goddamn self-righteous, self-absorbed, egotistical fucking twats that they are.